遥か遠い昔、古の頃、モンスターと心を通わせ、眠れる力を目覚めさせる者がいた。人々はこう呼んだ。モンスターライダー。モンスターと絆を結びし者と。
Monster Hunter Stories 1, Monster Hunter Wilds official canonizing PSA episode. Alright, same drill as last time. Because I'm not going to end up saving anyways, because things are drastically about to change. So this is another PSA update episode, so we're going to go back real quick. Again, same drill as last time. There will be drastic changes, and I'm going to, everything will make sense later, but I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do ultimately for the Hunter franchise. So last PSA episode, I said a lot. I definitely said a lot, and I'm gonna say a lot this episode. So yeah, brace yourselves. Brace yourselves. Cause Ish is hitting the fan over here. So Ish is hitting the fan. So yeah. Ish is definitely hitting the fan. It don't matter. Alright, we'll go back to the spot. Welcome everyone, welcome to the PSA episode 2. It's gonna be a shorter episode to the kids. Next, whatever I drop will have some gameplay. This is more so to just take care of business, really. Cause yeah, this is very pressing. Very, very pressing. And then we'll figure out what we're gonna end up doing next time. Alright, so this one's gonna be. Alright, let's go. I should have took the back way. Back way is faster. But it's okay. Actually, you know what? Back way is faster. I'm gonna take the back way. That cuts down time. If I remember the back way correctly. Yeah, we just got advantage here. Way faster. Okay. We're gonna come to the spot again, but we're gonna stay more on, I guess, this side. Because, yeah. Alright, so we'll just come right here. Alright, so I know this episode issues about to hit the fan. And so I just want to caveat to the public and everything. This is more for litigation. We're still trying to get through the investigative piece. So excuse me. Give me one moment. Alrighty, how everybody doing? Hope everyone is doing alright. Just be mindful, time is relevant when I do these episodes, and these small episodes will be a shorter public service announcement and update news report to the United States Patent and Trademark Office in Congress during the pilot's time in Japan on planet Earth year 2026. So I will just caveat, these are shorter, less, I guess, gameplay induced episodes just to get information out. This small episode is to follow up on the developmental progress to make contact with Capcom Osaka on behalf of Capcom America, Capcom Global, and Star Globe Industries as it pertains to the official international investigation of the Planet Earth year 1997 Capcom Osaka, Capcom USA meeting that took place in San Francisco of that year. To Congress and the United States Patent and Trademark Office as of July 24th of Earth year 2026, the pilot has made contact with Capcom Osaka personnel, as well as informed Capcom Osaka personnel per Capcom America, Capcom Global, and Star Globe Industries of the official Capcom Monster Hunter Wilds and Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance investigation that is currently ongoing as it pertains to the 1997 incident that took place in San Francisco, California, involving Capcom Osaka's personnel, producer of Monster Hunter Wilds, Ruzo Sugimoto, director of Monster Hunter Wilds, Yuya Takuda, and various other Capcom staff, as well as involved the current assailants in question as it pertains to the theft of the stolen scientific 30-year Monster Hunter lore documents that were under direct supervision of the producer of Monster Hunter Wilds and the director of Monster Hunter Wilds at the time, and recovered July of Planet Earth year 2026 by the proud and brave American first responders and authorities to the threat call. As the hero of the multiverse and evolution, Capcom's undisputed world champion of Monster Hunter Wilds and owner of Capcom, I now, as the Emperor of the Forbidden Land, Emperor of the Wildlands, will state that Capcom Osaka, or the Capcom brand in general, will no longer have the legalities of Monster Hunter franchise in evolution as it pertains to the relationship of Starglobe Industries, and as such, I will now break the fourth wall and issue Capcom Osaka as well as Capcom globally to cease and desist all work as it pertains to all Evolution and Monster Hunter franchise products, and to continue further without accessing the proper authorization from Starglobe Industries would be a direct violation of international law per the owner of Capcom Starglobe Industries. Before I give the Emperor's decree, I will now speak to the judge and Congress on why I am employing this option by revisiting the pilot's on-the-ground investigation from 24th July in Osaka City, Japan, at the Capcom Osaka Development Building. We're getting into it. The pilot arrived on scene at the Capcom Osaka Development Building approximately, as time is relevant, 9:20 a.m. local time, and engaged in personnel from the Capcom Osaka branch outside the building with weather conditions gauging hot and humid. The personnel informed the pilot entry could not be gained without an appointment via Capcom Osaka's policy. Starglobe Industries informed Capcom Osaka, Starglobe Industries, and Capcom America's policy and power granted by the Capcom's undisputed World Championship of Monster Hunter Wilds title overrides their local domestic policy here in Osaka, Japan, and Capcom Osaka's policy is now by direct order and decree of the Emperor of Forbidden Land until further notice. Judge, the pilot was deferred by Capcom Osaka. Personnel from Capcom Osaka then referred the pilot to the U.S. Consulate General Osaka Kobe on all legal available options, and the U.S. Consulate General informed the pilot they could not get involved in the current legal dispute or investigation, which has led me to employ the option of international law and breaking the fourth wall to issue an Emperor of the Forbidden Land official Monster Hunter Wilds and Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance development team investigation order of all work stoppage as it pertains to all Evolution and Monster Hunter Wilds products. Due to the stalled nature of Capcom Osaka's bureaucracy and now tying up U.S. litigation and hard-working American tax-paying dollars, as well as the great people of Japan stalling their possibility of being retroactively paid in damages as it pertains to their economy involving the 1997 incident that took place in San Francisco, California, as it pertains to this official investigation. So, Judge, that's where I'm currently at. Currently, the owners of Capcom Osaka, the Tsujimoto family, does not appear to have interest in coming to the table with Star Globe Industries, and as such, Star Globe Industries will acquire all work and assets as it pertains to all products, Evolution, and Monster Hunter franchise universe until the official Monster Hunter Wilds and Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance development team international incident investigation of Planet Earth year 1997 has officially, finally been assessed and concluded. Judge, I've exhausted all options to come to the table, and as such, the owner of Capcom globally, as the owner of Star Globe Industries, I will now, as the hero of the multiverse and evolution, will issue the Emperor's Order powered by Congress. Before I do this, I will state that I have exhausted all options, and I will specify there is another option that will remain off the table, but I will speak of that option after the Emperor's Order. By order of the Emperor, I'll break the fourth wall and decree as Emperor of the Forbidden Land to the planet Earth, year 2026, as the total owner of Capcom and Star Globe Industries. All Capcom brand personnel will cease and desist work on all Evolution and Monster Hunter franchise based products, digital products, or be in direct violation of international law due to the assessment Capcom brand does not have full ownership of the Monster Hunter franchise. Star Globe Industries has full ownership of the Monster Hunter franchise, as well as Evolution, and as such, the Capcom brand will cease and desist all work as it pertains to those products by the Emperor's Order. Bang! It is law. Judge, the pilot will remain in Japan for the holiday festival and return to America post investigation assessment. In the event, Capcom Osaka representatives would like to reach out to Star Globe Industries representation while the pilot is still in country. Star Globe Industries would like to add, this is the fourth in-country visit on business as it pertains to reaching out to Capcom Osaka representatives since April of Planet Earth year 2025 with no return response, both through email communication or online website inquiry. And as such, Capcom America, Capcom Global, and all Capcom Monster Hunter franchise and Evolution products will be assessed and worked by the Star Globe Industry brand trademark personnel effectively immediately. Capcom personnel are to cease all work on Monster Hunter franchise products or be in direct violation of Capcom's official international work policy by per Capcom Global Authority. Once again, Judge, the pilot and hero of Evolution and the multiverse has exhausted all options in terms of U.S. civilian diplomacy and is requesting a court official cease and desist issued for the entire Capcom brand per owner testimony of Star Globe Industries. Thank you. To the public and fans, I'm sorry communication and diplomacy is broken down to this point. Hopefully within the coming days or weeks we can find some common ground between Capcom and Star Globe Industries. However, for now, the pilot will most likely be enjoying the festivities and will shortly be leaving the Osaka region for the Kyoto region. So to the fans out in Kyoto, Star Globe Industries will be traveling that way with the banner flag. I cannot wait to have some yakisoba on the riverbank and watch the fireworks surrounded by everyone over in the Kyoto area in the coming week or so. So thank you all for just being nice and wonderful. I'm so grateful that the people of Japan have truly just been generous and everyone's been nice. I've been using my Japanese and everything to get around, and everyone's been so helpful. So thank you, of course, to the people of Japan for your amazing hospitality. And I'm learning as much as I can as the undisputed world champion of Monster Hunter Wilds. While I'm here, I'm taking full advantage of every opportunity. So I just wanted to express that and say thank you. It is hot here. However, I'm loving the atmosphere. I'm loving the energy, and you all are so wonderful. So thank you so much for just treating me so nicely. As well as to the personnel at the U.S. Consulate General Osaka Kobe. Thank y'all so much, and really, like, thank y'all so much for your flexibility, just and such a short moment's notice of just meeting me and everything. Y'all are able to help me explore all options and see what I could do or up channel to Congress, as well as the United States Patent and Trademark Governing Office, on what potential legal options could be employed. And currently this was the best option that we could table. So thank y'all so much for being flexible in such a short amount of time, and it was great working with y'all. Hopefully we'll be able to get the business right. However, until then, that 20-year DLC work that is within the possession of the Monster Hunter Wilds and Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance members of the Capcom Osaka branch and the Tsujimoto family are not authorized to use those documents without the appropriate evolution applied scientists as well, Judge. So continue to be just mindful that this is still a evolving developmental process. However, as the owner of Star Globe Industries, it would be outside of my scope to enact any further than to assess this, as I would still need the testimonials of the previous members of the Monster Hunter Wilds development team that were involved in the Planet Earth year 1997 incident, as it pertains to their meeting with Capcom USA in San Francisco, California of that year, before I could actually make another potential national call assessment. Like I said in the previous canon episodes, all paper scientific documents as they pertain to evolution and lore work must be called in. And if the Tsujimoto family does not comply, and the judge now knows, so I'm just going to leave that information there for the judge of how serious this is. Should they not comply, then I would be that is tabled. I'm not going to, of course, employ it, but that is tabled simply because I am still the nation's scientist, even if I retired, and I can call it in because this is still an ongoing investigation. But for right now, I believe a cease and desist is the more appropriate response. And as I've said, the experimental weapon is on cooldown, and I'm just letting the United States Patent and Trademark Governing Office know this, as well as Congress, that I'm simply here as a U.S. civilian diplomat to just see through the investigation as the total global owner of Capcom and Star Globe Industries, as it pertains to my own official investigation of Monster Hunter Wilds and Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance base game progress as we scale to 2027. So what does this mean? This means that as of right now, the progress of Monster Hunter Wilds and Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance as it pertains to the official development teams will be under review. Since this is an ongoing investigation and the current branch of Capcom Osaka does not seem to be generally interested in coming to the table with Star Globe Industries, that leaves Star Globe Industries with no choice but to employ and issue an international cease and desist of all work as it pertains to all Evolution products and Monster Hunter franchise products due to communication breaking down. The pilot engaged with the personnel. They exchange information as it pertains to the situation, and the personnel deferred the pilot to the U.S. Consulate General due to the nature of Capcom Osaka's local domestic appointment policy, which, by the way, is now Star Globe Industries' international policy. So, yes, it has gotten that serious, Judge, to the point where Monster Hunter Wilds and Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance, I'm choosing my words carefully now, the status of the products and the status of where the game's developmental trajectory is going may change, as well as the other positions of the official Monster Hunter Wilds and Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance personnel. Because Star Globe Industries now has final say on who is a part of the official Monster Hunter Wilds and Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance development teams, which means that should the Sugimoto family do not comply, those job positions can be replaced. And that is per order of the Emperor. Those job positions can be replaced. Your role can be replaced. Because I am the universe creator. I decide the trajectory of how the game goes. Your family cannot. Just because y'all have scientific documents and can, use old notes that are allowed. You're allowed to use those notes. Should you not comply, then those notes will need to be returned as property of Star Globe Industries and the United States government. And that is all that will be said on that. Since y'all did not want to come to the table, since y'all wanted to issue your own appointment policy, now you will be issued the Capcom new official international work policy. And maybe, just maybe, Congress, they'll come to the table. This is the best that I could do in such a short amount of time. I apologize for the later upload as pertains to getting this information out. Things just have not been going well as pertains to communication with the Capcom Osaka branch as pertains to the investigation of what happened in San Francisco during Planet Earth year during Planet Earth year 1997 as pertains to what happened to the missing lore work involved with Capcom USA and the assailants that may or may not have been present at the meeting. And as such, since I was not there as the total owner of Capcom and Star Globe Industries, this is the call that I'm going to make as the total owner until further notice. And hopefully things will progress in a much more productive path. Because right now this has not been productive. This is not productive, and it seems that they're more geared toward and focused on just continuing to stall and wall out bureaucracy and litigation, which is tying up our litigation back at home, as well as the hard-working, tax-paying American dollars and the interests of the American people who would like to know. They would like to know what happened at that meeting as well, because I do not know. And without those specific testimonies of what happened, as well as the Capcom Osaka branch not complying to an official international investigation now, hopefully they'll come to the table once they have been court ordered a official cease and desist, because that is what I'm requesting at this time until further notice. So I apologize once again to the fans. I would love to give y'all more gameplay and an update on when season 2 is going to happen. However, for right now, as pertains to the developmental process of Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance, that progress may potentially be delayed as it pertains to the 2027 release. So to the kids and the fans, I'll try to give y'all a small intermission filler episode as I figure out the direction of where the content will go as it pertains to all products within the Monster Hunter franchise universe later on. So just please stay tuned, of course, and thank you all for your support, as well as to the wonderful people of Japan. Thank you so much, and everyone involved here on the ground with trying to find the best path forward for not just Capcom, not just Star Globe Industries, but just for the Monster Hunter Wilds brand as it pertains to the games and the Monster Hunter franchise universe as it pertains entirety. Because yeah, this is very, very serious, and I'm not going to take it lightly, especially as the scientists who proved multiverse concept. I'm now employing this option for Capcom brand to cease all work internationally. So thank you so much, Judge. Thank you so much, Congress, again, for your time and all of this. I'm doing the best I can as it pertains to the overseas litigation, and for me, I believe this is going to be the best path forward, and I may even have to look into a third party of some kind to assist Star Globe Industries with the developmental progress and process of Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance 2027 as we move to that estimated launch. Because again, I am the scientist. It's up to me on how the interpretation of true evolution, as you know, we're moving towards this true evolution status for the products. That is per my interpretation as the Monster Hunter franchise universe creator. It's not for the Sugimoto family's interpretation. It's for my interpretation of what that looks like, because they're not the applied scientists. They don't even know what that is. They don't know what the final product will look like. They don't know how everything will work. And as it pertains to 30 years worth of damages, substantial damages to the entire Monster Hunter franchise universe, yes, I need to assess all the assets, and I need to assess everything as it pertains to the entire Monster Hunter franchise universe. And for them to not comply leaves me with no other choice than to issue Capcom globally a cease and desist, because it's not for them to make that decision or those business decisions. That falls on the responsibility of Star Globe Industries. So that is what I'm looking to employ. As I said, the experimental weapon is on cooldown, so I can't employ that option. However, that option in the future may need to be tabled and looked at. I'm just up channeling that to Congress because, again, that's how serious I'm taking this matter. They were there when the lore work was taken. I was not. And they're not looking to comply as it pertains to the official international investigation. And as such, per Star Globe Industries, that will be the option I employ. So thank y'all so much. I apologize again. I wish the episodes could be more lighthearted on just the content nature and everything. But next time I'm going to give y'all some gameplay. I'm not just gonna, I guess, come in and even if it's a PSA, I'm gonna give some sort of gameplay. I can't specify the length, but we'll go and we'll fight battles and we'll do stuff. So thank y'all so much. I'm gonna port out at the other location. And whenever we start up season 2, we'll pick up hopefully on plot. So I know. This time I'm gonna save it. This time I will save it. Because I want to save it so that order goes through. So thank y'all so much. Alright, we'll do that. And we'll just return out.
遥か遠い昔、古の頃。モンスターと心を通わせ、眠れる力を目覚めさせる者がいた。人々はこう呼んだ。モンスターライダー。モンスターと絆を結びし者と。
Love you all. Working hard. See you next time.